Alright, so the other day I had an email request about field days and how to actually set up a field day at your school. So I'll give some information here of how I set up a field day at my school, and hopefully you can use some of the things in it. Now, of course, it's gonna look different at every school. Okay, the first thing when you're planning field day, and this is the most important thing, is take some time beforehand to sit and think about all the different things that you're going to need, and do some brainstorming, because it doesn't have to be a scary thing. It can be pretty easy if you take the time to think. So I've got the who, what, when, where, why, and how here. Basically, when you're looking at the who, think of who's going to be involved. And some schools will have it their whole school, staff and students. Some schools might not be that case. So in my school, for example, we have a K to 4 track and field day. And so the K to 4s actually will do the events, but I still use the older students, so the grade 5 to 8s are still a part of it, and they are leaders. So whether that's leaders of events or group leaders taking the students around from station to station, they're leaders in some form or other. I even have leaders doing timing or measuring in some cases. For the what, this is probably the most important part. This video can hopefully give you some ideas of what stations or what events to include in your field day. I know some people have a tough time figuring that part out, so hopefully I can give some ideas. The when and the where, you're going to have to answer those for yourselves. When you're going to hold this event, where are you going to have it? Are you going to have it outside or in the gym, or a combination of both? Why are you going to do this event? Is it something your administration wants? Is it like, what's your philosophy behind it? And how are you going to implement everything throughout the day? So make sure to take the time to think beforehand. Alright, so here's some event ideas. This is the what part of it. I'll let you kind of read these on your own. I have from some classic track and field events, so the different running distances, 50 meter, 100 meter, 400, etc., to your throwing or your field events, some jumping, some shot put, discus. I have some just different throwing ones: baseball, frisbee throw, beanbag tossing. There's a lot there, so take some time to read and see what'll work with your kids, because not all these will work with your students, depending on the ages and whatnot. I do have towards the right side some kind of goofy ones like the egg and spoon relay, the jelly bean relay, where where the students roll a jelly bean with their nose across the floor. You can have fitness challenge or stretching stations, different balance ones. So there's some ideas there to work off of, and you can maybe come up with your own or have some of your own as well. And yeah. The next slide here kind of shows some of the mapping that I do before I do my event, and I send this off to all the staff members so they can kind of have an idea as well how the day is going to go. So what I have there in the yellow and blue are the events, and they're kind of mapped out along the field, and as well some in the gym and just outside. So I've kind of created this little map here to give a visual idea of where students are going to be. I've numbered off the stations. If you take a closer look, the yellow ones, those are middle year stations. This was from a couple years ago, I think. The blue ones were my earlier stations, and then a shared break station. So you figure out where your events are going to be, and write them on in there, and then you know which group is going to start where and rotate through, or however you want to work it. You might also want to have a timeline of events throughout the day, so around 9 o'clock this is happening, or 10 o'clock. There's different ways you can do it, but like I said, when you write things down, or you draw them out, it makes it a lot easier. So if you want to use this idea, then yeah, go right ahead. The last thing on this slide is, if you notice, I think I have two events per one station. You might wonder, oh, why are there two things there? I think this year what I had was the morning I had certain stations, so maybe they did a free throw or long jump in the morning, and then after the slash or the dash there, those to show afternoon events. So however you want to plan it, it just kind of gives a visual. And I hope that helps with your planning. If you have any questions, feel free to email us and we'll get back to you as soon as possible. And yeah.